I can tell you from personal experience, the mainstream media can be ruthless. A gladiator-like showdown. Every day in the press briefing room is not for the faint of heart. Karoline Leavitt does not scare easily. The youngest ever White House secretary made it clear in her first month on the job. This administration is one of truth and facts, not media bias. In her first sit-down interview since taking the post, she tells us how she takes the job by the horns while balancing life as a new mom. Karoline Leavitt, press secretary to the White House. First of all, did you ever imagine you'd be press secretary to such a dynamic president at such a time as this, where things are changing at a rapid pace, and you are the youngest person to ever hold this position? Definitely never imagined this, but I love my job. I'm honored and humbled to be press secretary for President Trump, who, as you said, truly is the most dynamic president of our lifetime. It's a blessing every day when I show up to the beautiful White House to work. I thank God for the opportunity. We are transforming our country for the better, truly restoring our government for the people, by the people, which is what the American people elected President Trump to do. There's a lot. So, before you enter the room, you know you will face hostile media, and they are coming for you. How do you prepare? I look forward to it and relish the opportunity to bring the truth and facts to the podium. The mainstream media has been blinded by this anti-Trump bias, and it's sad because, rather than dealing with people truly interested in journalistic integrity and finding out the truth and facts, they are coming in with a preconceived narrative and bias. The president speaks the truth, speaks directly. It's my job to prepare and figure out what the truth is versus fake news narratives and then bring that back to the podium. And we got to see the room where it all happens. This is where it all goes down. This is the briefing room. Smaller than it appears on TV. Definitely is smaller. When you pack a punch in here, it gets a lot smaller. Laughter. I can imagine coming up here for the first time, having been an intern. Having been through all that's happened in the past year. The first briefing. It must have been a moment. It was a moment. A sea of people who want to make me look bad. Me, myself, and I appeared. But it was an empowering moment. As you can tell, you're elevated. You are the leader of the orchestra, in charge, and calling on people you want to. My staff will sit here, and I can feel their positive energy, nodding their heads when I say good things, so that helps, but it is a lot of fun. You have expanded this, or influencers, are they in these chairs as well? In here, that's been reserved for staff. We are working out a block for the dignity they deserve, but that is the new media. We've been bringing in a podcaster, independent journalists who work for news organizations not represented by these seats, which brings a positive tone. Realistically, they ask things that I think people at home care about, which sets the scene for the rest of the players in the room. We've had the CEO of Breitbart, the Ruthless podcast, which is extraordinarily successful. So that's a lot of fun, and we have some other ideas to switch things up. We will have to stay tuned. Afternoon, making history may only be second-guessed in moments of the past year. You heard about it during the campaign. You were the spokesperson. For the Trump campaign, then you became a mom, and back on the job days after giving birth. Can you pinpoint a moment from the past year? There have been so many amazing, surreal moments. Obviously, the birth of my child is the best moment of my life and forever will be. Being a parent through a tumultuous campaign, becoming a mom for the first time, gave me perspective on life. In this crazy world of politics we live in. I want my son to grow up in a free America, the one we studied and learned about in our classrooms, and not this hatred the left uses against our country. So it inspires me to be more passionate than I could ever be. Being a mom, I can appreciate so much of what you said. One reason I work so hard was for my kids. We are not doing it for ourselves, but for the future of this country. But it is a lot to be a mom and a full-time working mom. To be press secretary for the White House, take me through a day in the life. There must be a lot that happens in the day for you. How do you manage as a new mom? The most rewarding, incredible time of my life, but certainly one of the most challenging times, trying to strike that balance between being great at my job and also great as a wife, daughter, friend, and, of course, a mother. I try to tell myself there are long hours or nights and days, campaigning with the president and now working at the White House. This is temporary, once in a lifetime, and we are doing real work to truly save our country. Just do your best, don't sleep much, and get up the next day and do your best again. Mom, guilt is very real. I always think about this, and I think I can safely say for you that one day your son will be so proud of his mom and all she's done. What advice would you give to someone in college now, or even high school, who wants to follow in your footsteps, or wants to one day do great things and do some of the things you've done? It's a great question. First of all, if you find yourself to be conservative on campus, you are definitely in the minority. But don't let that dissuade you from speaking truth and raising your hand, even against your professors, which I did as well. Seize every opportunity. Something I tell young people. Even if it's an unpaid internship with long hours, do it, and it will lead you to the next opportunity in life. Third, remember someday your intern could possibly be your boss, so never burn bridges and leave everybody with a good impression. This was advice given to me in college, and I try to take that with every opportunity. I think it's helped. Very good advice. As one of the strong women in the EY, President's daily orbit, she has unique insight into the Commander-in-Chief. Tell me one thing that would surprise people about what it's like to work for Donald Trump. There's a lot of things, I think. There are so many misconceptions. I think the best thing that I've learned is that he's a great listener, and he values the opinions of everybody in the room. That is fascinating to me. As a leader of the free world, he cares what everybody in the room thinks, and something else I've noticed. He's so generous with his time. Sometimes it means we are running late throughout the day. Trump time. Here at the White House, Trump time is a real thing. It's because he's so hospitable and generous with his time. A remarkable first couple of weeks of this administration. Your position, you've done amazingly well. What? Do you want people to remember you for as press secretary when you leave? It's only been a month, so that is a question. Ask me in 4 years. But I hope they will remember this presidency, and I think they will. This entire administration delivering on exactly what President Trump promised he would do. And that makes all of our jobs and lives much easier every day because he's doing exactly what he said he would do. But it is incredible to be part of an administration that, unlike so many presidencies before President Trump, is actually doing what he promised the people. And as press secretary, it makes my job a heck of a lot easier. There are no lies, just truth, facts, and results, and it's exciting to be part of